There's a jar of sand on Karadec's desk, and it's the key to the whole case. That's fact 43. And we're starting at the beginning. 47 facts about high potential. The numbers nobody talks about. The production decisions that shaped every scene. The cast details you never looked up. And the in-show signals that only land when you know what you're watching. Let's go. Fact 1. The pilot doesn't open with a case. It doesn't open with the LAPD. It opens with a red front door. Morgan steps out, cowhide coat, red boots, already moving like the morning belongs to her. She walks the street, rides the bus, arrives at the LAPD building, and swaps the boots for sneakers and a cleaning uniform in a locker room nobody else is using. Then, Heavy Cross by Gossip comes through her headphones, and the whole building becomes hers. She dances through the corridor. She vacuums. She climbs on a desk and keeps dancing. At some point, she reaches into a cup on someone's desk and takes a lollipop. The show introduces Morgan Gillory in 90 seconds without a single word of dialogue. Everything you need to know about her is already there. Fact 2. During that night shift, Morgan takes the lollipop from a cup on one of the detectives' desks. That cup belongs to Daphne Forrester. At the very end of the pilot, after the case is solved, after the job offer, after everything, Morgan reaches into that same cup one more time. She looks at Daphne. Daphne says, "That's what they're there for." No formal introduction, no speech about working together, just a lollipop and a look, and a dynamic that carries 2 full seasons. Fact 3. The pilot of High Potential wasn't costumed by the same team as the rest of the series. Samantha Hawkins designed Morgan's look for the pilot. Sandra Burns took over from episode 2 onward, when the network sent notes asking whether Morgan's outfits should be more professional now that she's working with the LAPD. Burns and Olson pushed back. The whole point was that she wouldn't change. The 2 short skirts, the wrong shoes for a crime scene, that's the character. Morgan doesn't dress to fit in. She never will. Fact 4. Morgan's wardrobe has a rule almost nobody knows about. Makeup artist Thea Samuels developed it. Morgan wears a different eyeliner color in every single episode, chosen to match the outfit. The whole look is coordinated chaos. Go back and watch. It's there every time. You just never noticed it was intentional. Fact 5. High Potential almost didn't exist in 2024. The show was originally announced for fall 2023. Then the Writers Guild of America strike halted production entirely. Everything paused for months. The delay pushed the premiere to fall 2024 and gave the production team extra time. The strike that damaged Hollywood gave this show an additional year to get it right. Fact 6. High Potential was the only pilot ABC greenlit before their upfront presentations in 2023. Every other show waited. This one didn't. That's how much confidence the network had in Drew Goddard and Kaitlin Olson before a single scene was filmed. Fact 7. Before Season 3 even aired, High Potential had already gone through 3 showrunners. Drew Goddard created the show and wrote the pilot, then handed it off. Rob Thomas came on for Season 1 and left before it premiered. Todd Harthan stepped in, finished Season 1, and ran Season 2. For Season 3, sisters Nora and Lila Zuckerman are now in charge. 5 different people steering the same ship across 3 seasons. That almost never happens on a show this stable. Fact 8. Drew Goddard wrote The Good Place, The Martian, and Cabin in the Woods before creating High Potential, a philosophy sitcom, a survival thriller, and a meta-horror film. The person who built Morgan Gillory's brain has a very specific relationship with high-concept storytelling. That is not a coincidence. Fact 9. High Potential is an American remake of a French-Belgian series called HP Wine, Au Potentiel Intellectuel, which has been running since 2021. The American version overtook the original in episode count within 2 seasons. The French show produced just over 30 episodes in 4 years. High Potential matched that number in the first 2 seasons alone. Fact 10. Kaitlin Olson is not just the star. She's a producer on the show, actively involved in story decisions, not just performance. Season 1 had only 13 episodes, partly because her commitment to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia limited the production window. The show was built around her schedule. Fact 11. High Potential became the most-watched new drama on ABC in 6 years when Season 1 ended. The last show to hit comparable numbers for the network was The Conners in the 2018 to 2019 season. Fact 12. Season 1 averaged 16.16 million viewers per episode across all platforms over 35 days. That placed it second overall among all entertainment series on U.S. broadcast television for the full 2024 to 2025 season, behind only Tracker. Fact 13. The final cross-platform ratings for the 2025 to 2026 TV season just dropped. Among all broadcast series, High Potential lands in the top 5, behind streaming giants like Stranger Things, but ahead of every other network drama. And in the demographic advertisers weight most heavily, adults 18 to 49, High Potential led the entire broadcast season, a show in its second season, against everything the networks could put up. Link in the description. If you're the kind of person who actually tracks these numbers, this channel is built for you. Subscribe. We track everything, and we're only getting started. Fact 14. Daniel Sanjata, who plays Karadec, received a Tony Award nomination for the Broadway play Take Me Out. He played Macduff opposite Ethan Hawke in Lincoln Center's 2013 production of Macbeth. Karadec's precision and control on screen aren't just character choices. They're delivered by someone with years of classical stage training. Fact 15. Javisha Leslie, who plays Daphne, previously played Batwoman in the CW series. From a superhero protecting an entire city to a detective holding a team together. Different uniform, same essential function. Fact 16. Denizak Deniz, who plays Oz, played Aladdin in Once Upon a Time. He brings the physical warmth of that role directly into the LAPD bullpen. Oz is not comic relief. He's the most instinctively human person on the team. And costume designer Sandra Burns says Acton trains so intensively that the team buys his suits one size larger and alters them completely for every episode. Her exact words, "Please, is it leg day again?" Fact 17. Judy Reyes, who plays Selena Soto, is known from 11 seasons of Scrubs. Carla Espinosa was the moral conscience of a hospital. Selena Soto is the legal conscience of a homicide unit. Same character architecture, different jurisdiction. Fact 18. Taran Killam, who plays Ludo, was a core cast member at Saturday Night Live for 6 seasons. Ludo is the most comedy-trained character on the show. He gets used as emotional grounding, and consistently underestimated as a result. Fact 19. Steve Howey played Wagner in 14 episodes across Season 2 only. His return for Season 3 is unconfirmed after his departure from the show. Wagner was never built as a permanent fixture, and the Season 2 finale makes that retroactively clear. Fact 20. Kaitlin Olson was born on August 18, 1975. She turned 49 in August 2024, 1 month before the Season 1 premiere. Morgan's physical pace, her impulsiveness, the way she throws herself into every scene, all of that is performed by a woman in her late 40s. Network television rarely builds its biggest new show around that. She's also married to Rob McElhenney, her It's Always Sunny co-star since 2008. The two leads of the 2 longest-running comedy franchises in recent American television, living in the same house. Fact 21. Parallel to High Potential, Olson appeared in the Emmy Award-winning series Hacks, twice nominated for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy. 2 completely different characters, 2 completely different tones at the same time. Dee Reynolds has been running since 2005. Morgan Gillory and Dee Reynolds currently coexist in the same person. Fact 22. Morgan's car is a 1972 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, light blue with wood panel siding running along the lower body. That exact model was made famous in that 70s show as the family station wagon from a different era. The production team didn't pick a random vintage car. They picked one that signals immediately. This person doesn't belong to the present. The car is her. Fact 23. In the pilot, Karadec says, "It's a high IQ, we get it." Morgan doesn't agree with that framing. She corrects him immediately. The technical term is high potential intellectual, means you have advanced cognitive abilities, intellectual creativity, photographic memory, stuff like that. She's not correcting his vocabulary. She's correcting his understanding of what she is. The show establishes this in the first 30 minutes and never walks it back. Fact 24. Soto asks Morgan if the ability is a gift. Morgan's answer, no, not a gift. I obsess over every little problem I see. My mind is constantly spinning out of control, which makes it impossible to hold a job, relationship, a conversation. Not a gift. That is the thesis of the entire show, set before the opening case is even solved. The writers knew exactly what they were doing with those 4 words. 24 facts in, and we haven't even gone inside the episodes yet. The next 23 are where it gets interesting. What the writers buried. What only lands when you know where to look. Subscribe if you haven't already, because you'll want to rewatch after this. Fact 25. The job offer at the end of the pilot doesn't come from Karadec. He was against her. It comes from Selena Soto after the case closes. It's a job offer. Come be a consultant. Do this full time. We need you. Morgan declines, then accepts, under one condition. Roman Sinquera. Fact 26. Morgan's first act inside the LAPD building isn't introducing herself. Before she says a word to Karadec, she has already changed the evidence board. She crossed out suspect and replaced it with victim. The first question anyone asks is, who changed our board? She's already working. That is how she enters every situation for the rest of the show. Fact 27. In Season 1, Episode 9, a contact that Soto and Morgan track down proves to Morgan he actually knew Roman, with one detail: the Rams. Roman, Ava, Morgan. You guys used to call yourselves the Rams, right? He told me that. Morgan had just told him she didn't believe he'd ever met Roman. That sentence is how he proves her wrong. A family nickname Roman shared with someone, small enough to seem like nothing, specific enough to be everything. Fact 28. Roman's backpack contains 3 objects, a drawing Ava made at her first grade school recital. Roman was there, watching her. Surveillance photographs of people he was investigating, including Hayworth. And a BlackBerry. One object holds the father, one the investigator, one what he knew and couldn't say aloud. The show introduces them in that exact order, most personal first. Fact 29. The IT department warns in Season 2 that cracking Roman's BlackBerry could take weeks. That's not dramatic exaggeration. BlackBerries from that era used proprietary encryption that was genuinely difficult to break without manufacturer cooperation. The show is technically accurate about a 15-year-old phone being a serious obstacle. Fact 30. Morgan has kept a box of Roman's belongings in her closet for 15 years. In the Season 2 finale, Ava asks if she can use it for something. She doesn't know yet what. Morgan's response, I saved all that stuff for you. You do whatever you want with it. Then, don't touch anything else in my closet. 15 years of holding on. One conversation. Then she lets go. Fact 31. Willa Quinn is named in a report in Season 2, Episode 4, before she ever appears on screen. Hayworth identifies her as his employer. That's it. One name, spoken in panic by a man who's terrified of her. Quinn's first visual appearance doesn't come until Season 2, Episode 15, in New York, at a lunch. She's eating truffle mousse. Soto arrives at her table. Quinn offers her some. Soto declines. Quinn isn't rattled for a single second. Fact 32. At the end of that same episode, Soto flies back to Los Angeles after the failed confrontation. When she lands, she looks up and sees Willa Quinn stepping off the same plane. Quinn didn't just deflect Soto in New York, she followed her home. Fact 33. Quinn moves Eric Hayworth from LAPD jurisdiction into FBI federal custody in Season 2, Episode 16, with a single phone call, while Soto is standing right there watching it happen. Quinn tells Morgan afterward, I heard that the FBI took Eric Hayworth into federal custody, as if she read it somewhere, as if she didn't make it happen. That's the coldest line of the season. Fact 34. Morgan has a desk phone at the precinct. She tells Karadec she assumed it was decorative. In the Season 2 finale, that phone rings. Karadec asks if she's going to answer it. She picks up. It's Willa Quinn. The untouched desk phone, the one Morgan never thought she'd use, is how Quinn reaches her at the end. Fact 35. Quinn's final words in the Season 2 finale. There's no way to catch up when the people that are helping you are helping me too. Back off, Morgan. Then the line cuts. Morgan gets out half a sentence. If you want to threaten me, I think you should come and do it to my And Quinn is already gone. Morgan, did she just hang up on me? Quinn ends the conversation exactly when she decides it's over. That's every scene she's ever in. Fact 36. Wagner had a standing request with LAPD dispatch. Notify him personally of every major robbery anywhere in the city. Not just his precinct, all of them. This was running for years before he became captain. His fiancée, Taylor Lawson, was killed by the same crew he almost caught in Oakland. He never officially closed that case. The dispatch request was him keeping it open, quietly, through a channel no one would notice. When Morgan finds out and asks about it, he says, "Do you mind if we keep this between us?" He's been hunting them alone for years. Fact 37. Selena Soto was the frontrunner for the captain position at the start of Season 2. The slot had been open. Word in the precinct was she had the inside track. Then Nick Wagner arrived, and Soto found out the same way everyone else did. The show doesn't make a scene of it. Soto stays professional, but the most capable investigative mind in the unit now reports to someone who didn't want the job and got it through family pressure. Fact 38. The Season 2 episode titles build a hidden second story. Pawns. Checkmate. If you come for the queen. It's a chess vocabulary mapping Willa Quinn's power structure across the entire season. Quinn moves the pieces. The LAPD is on the board. Every title is a move. Then there's one title that breaks the pattern entirely. NPC, the only gaming reference in the series. One episode that operates by completely different rules. Fact 39. Daphne Forrester has a mentor almost no storyline focuses on, a senior LAPD officer named Dottie, who became a surrogate mother to her early in her career. Dottie wanted Daphne to take the sergeant's exam. Daphne refused, not from lack of ambition, but because she'd watched what Soto and Dottie had to absorb to hold positions men walked into without resistance. In Season 2, Episode 14, a crisis forces them back together. Daphne says it directly. I've watched what Soto and Dottie have put up with for years. The hoops, double standards. I just figured, what's the point? That is a complete arc about institutional exhaustion, and it never gets its own episode. Fact 40. Wagner gave Morgan a false meeting time in the Season 2 finale, 30 minutes earlier than his own arrival. He wanted her there before him, out of protection. Morgan arrives and finds him on a bench at Rancho Park. She kneels in front of him. He coughs blood. As he sinks into her arms, she realizes her hands are covered in blood from the wound in his back. His last conscious act of the season is being found by her. Fact 41. The phone call that ends Season 1 is remembered wrong by almost everyone. Roman, he's alive. People assume an unknown voice, a mysterious informant. The caller is Karadec. He received the information through the Conforth chain and called Morgan directly. The man who spent the entire first season as her professional opposition is the one who delivers those 3 words. If you know who's calling, the moment is completely different. It's not a mystery breaking open. It's a partnership arriving. Fact 42. Quinn's warning in the Season 2 finale points toward Roman as the danger. I'm the person that warns you before the enemy reaches you. 2 seasons of the show have built Roman as a victim and a protector. That call plants a question that retroactively touches every Roman scene you've watched. The show doesn't answer it. Season 3 is where that goes. I've watched this show 3 times through. Fact 43 still makes me stop. Fact 43. There is a jar of gypsum sand on Karadec's desk. Morgan notices it early in the Season 2 finale. Picks it up, asks about it. Karadec tells her it's from Lucia. She said it was rare, like what they have. He agrees. And that's the moment the case breaks open, because Morgan knows gypsum sand dissolves completely in water, making natural deposits almost impossible to find. The largest gypsum dune field in America is in White Sands, New Mexico, next to the city of Alamogordo. The main suspect in the case lived there. Lucia had been there too. The gift was a souvenir from her time with the man Karadec was trying to catch, a love token that became evidence. He held on to it because it was rare. It was just not the way either of them thought of Becked 44. Most people who discuss high potential casually get one character's job title consistently wrong. Lila Flynn is not a detective. She's an FBI agent. It's a small distinction that carries real weight. What she knows, what she can share, what she's legally permitted to do all operate under completely different rules than the LAPD. Every scene she's in reads differently once you know which agency she actually works for. Fact 45. Willa Quinn is named for the first time in Season 2, Episode 14. Hayworth has given the LAPD one thing: the name of his employer. Soto tells Karadec, a Willa Quinn, who that is and how she fits in all this, he won't say yet. That's it. One name from a man too frightened to say more. One episode later, Quinn is sitting at a New York lunch, eating truffle mousse, offering Soto a taste. She's completely unbothered. The show builds her for weeks before she enters a room. That's not slow pacing. That's architecture. Fact 46. 2 episodes before the finale, Karadec and Lucia are planning a life together. She's just had an offer accepted on a house in Lafayette Park. They're talking about moving in together, maybe even who else might end up living there. It's a small, domestic, almost throwaway scene. No tension, no foreshadowing the audience is meant to catch, which is exactly why the finale lands so hard. The show doesn't build Lucia as a suspect. It builds her as someone Karadec was about to build a home with. 47. Sandra Burns, the costume designer who built Morgan's entire look from episode 2 onward, described her design philosophy in one sentence. Her clothes mirror the chaos, and then finding order in her brain. And it goes deeper than the outfits. Makeup artist Thea Samuels added one more layer. Morgan wears a different eyeliner color in every single episode, matched to her outfit. The layering, the patterns, the colors that clash with everything around her. The eyeliner that changes every week. It's not style, it's cognition. You've been watching her brain this whole time. You just didn't know what you were looking at. That's 47. Which one actually stopped you? Drop the number in the comments. And if there's a character, a scene, a detail you want us to go deeper on, tell us. Subscribe if you haven't already. More is coming.